Good evening. Tonight is the night before the November 2017 full moon. This full moon is also known as the frost moon or the beaver moon. It's the time of year when the frosts first set in and when Native Americans used to be very engaged in trapping beaver. This full moon is occurring in the sign of Taurus, and it's especially good for manifesting abundance, love, and success. Tonight, I really did want to try to get a video done and posted on the day of the full moon because I have felt very called to share spiritual practices that I've developed over the years. And I thought I would start with the first one. One of the very first things that I just sort of spontaneously started doing, I didn't really see any videos or read anything about it. I just felt called to do it. I created altars from candles. So I made candle altars, and they're really great this time of year when it gets dark early, and there's something very warming and comforting about candles burning in the evenings, and especially the way that I've gone about it, because I incorporate the use of crystals, and I'll do a separate episode on totem animals, but I also use totem animal figurines. And it's just been a source of endless fascination to learn about the various crystals and to use their energy combined with the color energy of the candles to raise up and open up my energies to align with higher dimensional energies. So I always felt the instinct to make altars with the chakra colors. And so the first thing that I want to do, because I don't know who'll be called to watch this video, is just a really quick rundown of the chakra colors. So we'll take a little break and do that now. Okay, so this is a really good image of the chakras. I just find it simple and easy to understand. And I'll put the link to it in the notes for the video. So it shows that the chakras go from bottom to top, and they align with the rainbow colors Roy G. Biv: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And the bottom chakra here is the root chakra, and that sits at the base of the pelvis, in between the legs, and it governs the energies of feeling secure and grounded and safe. So it's the basic survival on earth chakra. So it governs those energies. The next chakra up is the orange chakra, the sacral chakra. That governs creativity and sexuality, intimacy, and emotions. Up from that chakra, here, at around the navel, below the rib cage, is the solar plexus, the yellow chakra. It governs power, so that's our power center. It governs desire, vitality, and energy. It's also the place where the silver cord connects. That's the cord that connects the soul to the body. The green chakra at the heart level is the heart chakra. It governs the energies of love, hope, and compassion, and also healing. The next chakra up from that is at the throat. It's called the throat chakra, and it governs communication and the expression of our energies and our essence, and it's sort of the release valve for all the other chakras. Above that, the indigo chakra is the third eye chakra. It's also called the brow chakra. and it governs psychic vision. So it's the center of clairvoyance and seeing, intuition. All the psychic senses are governed by this particular energy center. And then the top energy center is the crown chakra, the violet chakra, and it governs the energies of understanding, cosmic consciousness, and enlightenment. So that's where we get our connection to divine energies, comes through this chakra. So that's just a basic rundown of the major energy centers of our body. Okay, so now that we have our rundown of the chakra colors, I'm going to show you just one of the basic, simple ways that I have set up candle altar. Okay, so this was the first version of a candle altar that I ever created, and it's mainly because I just wanted to set it up on a little stool in my room. And so I just lined up the chakra colors in order, the Roy G. Biv. So the red for the root, orange for the sacral, yellow for the solar plexus, green for the heart, this lighter blue for the throat, this darker blue for the third eye, and then the violet for the crown. And then I'm going to go ahead and light this because it's so pretty. So we might as well look at it, looking super pretty. And then, when you use an altar, what you want to do is set your intention for the energy that you want to promote through its use. And so the energy, obviously, when you're doing a chakra candle set, is you want to elevate your resonance, your vibration, by clearing your chakras and activating them. So this gets you in alignment with your higher self and with divine energies at a higher dimensional plane. So that's the goal here with this, and that's the intention that I'm setting, is to clear and activate my chakras, my energy centers, and to connect with divine energy. Now, to aid in this process, to kick it up a notch, I also started using crystals, and I didn't do that right away. It took me a while to figure that part out. But there are crystals that work with the various chakras, and there's many resources on the internet to figure this out. Typically, the crystal colors that match the chakra colors will work with that chakra, but it doesn't have to be that case. So I'll pull some out of my bowl over here. Like if I had wanted to use exact color matches, I could have used these crystals for the red. This is I don't know if you can see that, but that's a red, an orange, and a yellow. But I really wanted to focus more on these other crystals tonight that have properties that I'm interested in. So what I've done with them is I've placed them right at the candle that matches the chakra that they work with. So this crystal is called Hyperstein, and I'm going to just take a break here and focus just on these particular crystals and tell you about them. Okay, so now we're going to look at these particular crystals that we're using in the altar. This is a stone called Hyperstein, and as you can see, it has a gorgeous, very unusual deep luster. I just love the look of this stone. It's very unusual, and it has wonderful qualities. So typically, because part of what the root chakra's function is grounding, brown, black, or red stones work with the root chakra So this being a brown stone, it works fine to activate the root chakra. It also has these other really wonderful qualities that you don't normally think of as being associated with the root chakra. So basically hypersteam aids with the development of clairvoyance and clairaudience, which is clear seeing and clear hearing, or basically psychic vision and psychic hearing. It also opens the door to opportunity, so it's got some really interesting sort of magical qualities. And I'm always aiming to increase my connection with other dimensions, so I'm very interested in stones that help with the clairs, the CLAIR clairs. So for the sacral chakra, I'm using Dalmatian jasper. So even though it's not orange, it still works with that particular chakra. And I mainly wanted to use it because it's just so pretty and cute. And you can see why it's called Dalmatian jasper. And this is a stone that helps to increase your child energy and your energy of just having fun. So it's good for people who are overly analytical, to get them kind of balanced. And pretty much, when you're in your state of child energy, you're going to be at your most creative. So it really helps with the sacral chakra, which is the creativity chakra, to get it activated. Okay, now for the solar plexus, I've chosen this really gorgeous stone, and granted, although it's not yellow, it still works with the solar plexus, which is the seat of the soul, I think of it as. And this is another magical, Merlin, the magician. It's got these wonderful magical qualities of helping to develop claircognizance and clairsentience. So those are the other two clairs, which is clear knowing and clear feeling, so that you can have psychic knowledge and psychic feeling. It also helps with automatic writing, which is a way of channeling messages from higher dimensions. And it also helps with spirit contact. So it's got these fabulous qualities besides its ability to help to activate the solar plexus power chakra. All right, now for the heart chakra, I have chosen this gorgeous crystal. It's called serpentine, and I just love this crystal. It is so pretty. It's just got these beautiful striations in it. And this is called the Enlightenment crystal. So it helps with Kundalini activation. And it basically, it would make sense given that it will clarify all of the chakras. So you can use it to clear all 7 chakras. It'll clear blocked energy. And it's also, being a green crystal, it acts on the heart chakra, and it also acts on the crown chakra. So, beautiful crystal. Now for the throat chakra, I have selected this really gorgeous crystal called chrysocolla. And this crystal will activate the throat chakra, and it's also a chakra that's good for the energy of teaching and musicianship. So this is a great crystal for teachers and musicians. And I'm a musician, and I feel called to do teaching about various spiritual matters, so it's a good thing. Good crystal, good energy, and also just so pretty. I love the way these crystals all look. Okay, now this is a darker blue crystal for the third eye or brow chakra. This is called Demort. How do you pronounce this thing? I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Dumortierite, and it's the easier way to pronounce it is desert lapis, like desert lapis lazuli. And it's the stone of patience, which I definitely need to work on. I keep getting message about being patient, and especially with my driving, and I even have dreams about it. I had a dream that I was in a car with a Russian man, and he was putting the brakes on, and I finally figured it out. It was basically saying, put a brake on the rushing. So this is a perfect crystal for me. And it also helps with psychic vision. So with clairvoyance, being a third eye crystal, you would expect that. And then finally for the crown chakra, here's this beautiful raw piece of amethyst. You can see the purple. It's a light purple, but you can see that there. And this is the composer's stone. So I always like the stones that pertain to music, since I love to write and play music. And it's called the composer's stone, so it aids with that type of energy. So for any type of composition, music or writing, poetry, anything like that. It also is well known to have healing qualities for addictions. And this is an opener of the crown chakra. Now I've added a couple more things, 3 more things. I've added clear quartz. This is an amplifier stone, so it increases the energies of the other stones that it's with, so it amps it up. I also use rose quartz or pink quartz because it's the stone of unconditional love, and that's really what the journey is about, is trying to get to that place of unconditional love, which is what we're from. And I chose a bunny figurine because I am a rabbit in Eastern astrology. So I always add that. And then finally I added serpentine. And not serpentine, I'm sorry, selenite, another S stone. But selenite is another crystal that will amplify the energies of the crystals that it's with. And it also is good for clearing negative or blocked energies. So, it's always a good one to use. So I typically will include selenite in most of my crystal grids. And that's a little rundown on the crystals that I'm using. Okay, so you can see that how I have these crystals placed right there at the candles that match the chakras that these crystals work with. And then I've got some selenite and some clear quartz and some pink quartz just to amp the whole thing up and to make it a more synergistic kind of process. And that's pretty much how I started out. I really just started out with the candles and then learned bit by bit how to start adding various types of crystals. But it's really, to me, crystals are a lifelong study. There are so many of them and they have so many wonderful qualities. I pretty much don't have a whole lot of it committed to memory because there's just so much information there. But it's really fun and joyful to work with crystals. They have a great energy. And this is just a good way to get started with a spiritual practice that will help to elevate your vibration. So these candle altars were really one of the very first spiritual practices that I engaged in, and they have really stood the test of time. And I even make gifts of little candle altars. I'll make up a set for friends and I'll include crystals. I'll research the crystals and send my friends the crystals that I think will mean the most to them. But it's just such a beautiful practice, and it really does help. My energy is really very different from what it used to be. I'm just much more grounded and peaceful, and I have a pretty steady state of gratitude. There are so many wonderful spiritual practices to engage in, all aid in your ascension process and in your awakening and in your alignment with divine energies. So this is just a basic how to get started with creating your own candle altars and setting your intention and letting them do their magic, because they do work. So you've taken your intention and you have taken a step in the material world to bring that intention into a state of fruition. So if you want to get yourself clear and aligned, this is a good way to go. And it's not the sort of thing that you'll wake up the next day and everything's changed. Typically, most of the spiritual practices that I have engaged in, which are many and which I'll be covering in other videos, they typically have a slow, subtle action, but they do work. It's just a matter of consistency and perseverance. And I find spiritual practices to always be so lovely that I find myself drawn to engage in them, so it's not as though I have to make myself. And they really have improved my life. I am far more positive and grounded and balanced and grateful than I ever used to be. And I can understand when I listen to the various videos and read literature on the movement into 5D consciousness. I'm definitely grasping what that's about and how you get there. Not that that was ever my intention. My intention was mainly just to raise up my energy level and to ascend. I just always have felt called to get higher in my vibrational level and closer to spirit, just to keep spirit with me as much as possible. And these practices really do work. And this was pretty much one of the first things I ever did besides meditation. Meditation was the very first thing. But anyway, it's a beautiful thing to do. It's fun, and especially great in the winter time. So, happy frost moon.